Sumire's feelings for Boruto have made her envious of Sarada and led her to act in a passive-aggressive way towards Sarada. In this video, I will clearly explain how Sumire developed feelings for Boruto and how her liking him has caused her to feel envious of Sarada and her close bond to Boruto. To understand why Sumire liked Boruto, we need to explore her past. Sumire's father had a big impact on her character. He was a member of Danzo's Root faction, a secret group in the Hidden Leaf village that carried out morally questionable missions. When Danzo's wrongdoings were exposed, Root faction was broken up and Sumire's father became bitter and resentful. He believed that the Hidden Leaf village caused his suffering and the death of Sumire's mother. Seeking revenge, he raised Sumire as a tool for his vengeance. He used the Guzo Tenno technique, which involves summoning and chakra absorption, and marked her back with its seal. He trained her to summon Nue, a powerful creature capable of destroying Konoha. Even though she was only a child, Sumire was manipulated into thinking it was her duty to fulfill her father's revenge and honor his memory. This manipulation left deep psychological scars on Sumire. She felt guilty, unworthiness, and believed her value came only from achieving her father's revenge. Despite this, her true character emerged through her role as class rep at the Ninja Academy. As the class rep, Sumire was thoughtful, kind, and supportive of her classmates. She showed leadership and earned the trust and admiration of her peers. Even though she carried the secret burden of her father's revenge, she often went out of her way to help her classmates. This revealed her underlying compassion and good nature, even while struggling with the heavy responsibility imposed by her father. Her role as the class rep highlighted her genuine kindness, which stood in clear contrast to the struggles she faced internally. On the surface, she appeared as a dependable and caring leader, but inside she wrestled with guilt and inner conflict, convinced that fulfilling her father's revenge mission was her responsibility. This duality showed her resiliency and determination to maintain a positive role in her classmates' lives despite her personal struggles. When Sumire's secret mission was exposed, Boruto didn't believe she needed to be defeated. He thought her actions as the class rep were sincere and that it was impossible for her to have faked the meaningful interactions she had with her peers, even as she held intentions to destroy Konoha to honor her father's wishes. Boruto helped Sumire imagine a life where she could live for herself instead of as a tool of revenge. He showed her empathy and encouraged her to free herself from her father's control. During the Nue incident, Boruto learned that Sumire had been raised by her father as a tool of revenge. She carried the Guzo Tenno seal and had been taught to summon Nue to destroy Konoha. After Boruto confronted her after Nue was summoned, Sumire confessed her belief that her purpose was to fulfill her father's will. Boruto sympathized with her guilt and feelings of responsibility, but challenged her thinking by pointing out that she had the power to make her own decisions and choices. He rejected the notion that she was just a tool, recognizing her as someone capable of deciding her own future. Even though he knew she was behind the attacks, Boruto never saw her as evil. Instead, he acknowledged her natural kindness and the burden she carried. His determination to save her, despite others wanting her detained or punished, showed Sumire she was more than a weapon of revenge. In the emotional confrontation with Nue, Boruto assured Sumire that her life didn't have to revolve around her father's revenge. This helped Sumire find the strength to abandon her destructive mission. This decision marked a turning point for her. Boruto's belief in her and his steady support gave her the courage to reject her father's teachings. After the incident, Boruto and their classmates welcomed Sumire back, regardless of her past actions. Boruto's kindness, forgiveness, and encouragement allowed her to fit back into the group and began building a new identity as their friend and peer. He helped Sumire realize that she didn't need to carry the burden of her father's revenge to honor his memory. Instead, she could live for herself, use her abilities to help others, and focus on her own aspirations, like working in the scientific research and supporting her friends. This shift was a crucial step in her personal growth enabling her to start a new chapter in her life. Boruto's actions played a major role in Sumire developing a crush on him. During the newer incident, Boruto showed deep understanding and empathy when confronting Sumire. He acknowledged her pain and her troubled past, making her feel recognized and valued as more than just a tool of her father's revenge. This emotional connection likely drew Sumire closer to Boruto, as he saw her true self beyond the burden she carried. Even after discovering her mission to destroy Konoha, Boruto refused to label Sumire as a villain. Instead, he stood by her, offering support, forgiveness, and helping her fit back into the group of friends. This consistent reliability and emotional strength made him someone she could admire and trust. Boruto's bravery in saving Sumire physically and emotionally painted him as a hero in her eyes, strengthening her admiration and romantic interest in him. By encouraging Sumire to forge her own path and welcoming her back into the social circle, Boruto created a sense of belonging that contrasted sharply with the loneliness of her upbringing. He provided her with an emotional safe space, further deepening her feelings for him. Sumire's feelings for Boruto became evident early, even before Kawaki entered the story. In a conversation with Sarada, Sumire asked if Boruto was popular back in the village. Sarada replied that she didn't know, but noted that Boruto could easily befriend many people. Sumire then questioned Sarada about whether it bothered her that other girls might like Boruto. When Sarada responded that it didn't bother her, Sumire admitted, "It certainly bothers me." This statement surprised Sarada, as shown by her reaction, and clearly indicated Sumire's emotional investment in Boruto. To emphasize her feelings, Sumire winked at Sarada after making a statement. This playful yet meaningful gesture hinted at her romantic interest in Boruto. Without saying, "I like him," Sumire's line of questioning and her honest admission show her jealousy and affection for Boruto, while the wink adds a light-hearted yet sincere touch. This exchange effectively serves as Sumire's subtle confession of her feelings, as it shows her concern for Boruto's relationships with others and playfully acknowledges her emotions to Sarada. Sumire's crush on Boruto caused her to feel envious of Sarada. This is shown in chapter 16 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Sarada, worried about Boruto's safety since he seemed to be taking everything on by himself, asked Ada to check on Boruto. After Ada reviewed the conversations Boruto had with Kashinkoji, she realized that she couldn't share the information because it was Boruto's, Kashinkoji's, and her duty as the singularities of fate to keep the knowledge of the future to themselves. Ada explained to Sarada that Boruto wasn't revealing much to them because he had his own reasons. From her perspective, Boruto was keeping quiet to prevent unnecessary danger to Sarada and Sumire. Sarada and Sumire are both empathetic individuals who can put themselves in others' shoes and see things from their perspectives. After hearing Ada's explanation, Sarada realized that Boruto was, as usual, taking everything on himself. She noticed this character quality during their missions together. Boruto often prioritized his teammates' safety over his own, even if it meant putting himself in harm's way. This self-sacrificing nature was something Sarada had seen repeatedly during the early missions. Realizing this, Sarada understood that Konoha will continue to see Boruto as an enemy, even though they shared a mutual enemy. She concluded it was up to her, Ada, and Sumire to help Boruto. Following this decision, she asked Ada to use her Senrigan to locate Boruto. At this point, Sumire shared her own perspective. She believed Boruto didn't want them to know much. She reached this conclusion because, despite outwardly supporting Boruto, they knew almost no critical information about him. Sumire thought Boruto's secrecy was the reason they could live freely as they were. From Sumire's perspective, the right course of action was not to chase after Boruto. Sarada tried to see things from Sumire's perspective, but could not ignore the possibility that during Boruto's fight with Hidari, if things had gone worse, like when Boruto was hit by Jura's small compressed Biju bomb from a distance, he might have died instead of just being injured. Sarada's perspective was correct because Boruto needed help in the fight against Hidari. After Boruto hit Hidari with his regular Rasengan, Hidari used his claw marks to retreat to the Ten-Tails dimension to heal himself. Boruto realized that to defeat Hidari, he needed to use the Uzuhiku at its full power and finish Hidari in a single attack. For this, he relied on Sarada to pay attention to Hidari's claw marks, which Hidari placed around them. and distract Hidari long enough for Boruto to absorb enough planetary chakra by keeping both feet on the ground. This meant Boruto couldn't fly freely to avoid attacks. Konohamaru helped by using his Rasen barrier to block Hidari's Chidori, which Hidari tried to sneak through a claw mark to hit Boruto from behind while he was focused on gathering planetary chakra. Boruto's reaction to Konohamaru's help suggested he was not too worried about the sneak attack and could have handled it himself. However, with Konohamaru's support, Boruto managed to absorb just enough planetary chakra to defeat Hidari, even if it was not the full amount he needed. Boruto delivered the final blow to Hidari with the Uzuhiku, but Sarada played a key role in weakening Hidari first. After Hidari distracted Boruto and Konohamaru with the Chidori sneak attack, he then appeared from another claw mark behind Sarada and attempted to devour her. Sarada managed to activate her Chidori stream in time, hitting Hidari and weakening him. She used her superhuman strength inherited from her mother to pull Hidari out of his claw mark and throw him into the air, where Boruto hit him with the Uzuhiku and defeated him. While Sarada supported Boruto in defeating Hidari, Sumire lacked the strength or compact skills to assist in that battle. After the fight and seeing the power of the Divine Tree people, especially when Jura hit Boruto with his small compressed Biju bomb from a distance, causing him to fall, cough blood and pass out, Sarada thought it was too reckless for Boruto to face such enemies alone. At this point, Sumire asked Sarada if she had considered the possibility that Boruto was hurt because they were present. However, this wasn't entirely true. If Boruto had not come to Konoha, Jura would have devoured Himawari, and Hidari would still attack Sarada as soon as she arrived at the fight. Without Boruto's help, Hidari and Jura would have likely have succeeded in devouring Sarada and Himawari. It's also worth noting that Sarada had entrusted Boruto with protecting Sarada after sacrificing himself to give Boruto enough time to escape from Code and train, building on his teachings to become an unstoppable shinobi. Boruto couldn't also simply stand by and let Jura devour his sister, even though Omnipotence had altered Himawari's memories to make her believe Kawaki was a real brother. Boruto got hurt because he was distracted by Kawaki, who was curious about the Thorn Bulb Soul Boruto obtained after defeating Hidari. Kawaki wanted to know what the Thorn Bulb Soul was. At the same time, Boruto let his guard down, thinking he was safe from Jura since Jura was far away. Sumire was not aware that her feelings were rooted in envy. She indirectly made a comment that painted Sarada as someone who was not considering Boruto's feelings. She asked Sarada if she truly thought Boruto liked keeping secrets from them, and whether Sarada had ever taken a moment to reflect on Boruto's pain. Right after saying this, Sumire revealed her feelings of envy and hate by pointing out that Sarada was not considering her feelings. Sumire then reminded Sarada that she liked Boruto a lot, but after Boruto came to see them after 3 years apart, Sarada immediately jumped into his arms and hugged him. Not only that, Sumire saw that Boruto seemed pleased to hug Sarada and returned her feelings. Sumire explained that she tried to be respectful of Sarada's feelings and understood that her reaction in that moment was normal. However, she asked Sarada if she had even considered her feelings just a little bit before hugging Boruto in front of her. Sumire had already admitted earlier in the Boruto manga, back when Boruto was 12 years old, that it bothered her when other girls gave Boruto attention. Sarada, on the other hand, hasn't realized yet that she has romantic feelings for Boruto. This was evident in chapter 6 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, where after hugging Boruto, Sarada was nervously talking to herself. She said that she had not meant to throw herself at Boruto like that. She felt nervous and asked herself what to do, knowing there were many things she wanted to ask him, but didn't know where to start. Sumire's comments were passive-aggressive, suggesting that Sarada was not putting herself in Boruto's shoes, and hinted that Sarada was self-absorbed. However, this was not true. Sarada sacrificed her relationship and potential memories she could have made with her father by convincing him to go into hiding with Boruto. She also persuaded him to help Boruto after Omnipotence altered everyone's memories to make them believe Boruto was the enemy and Kawaki was innocent. Sarada felt heartbroken and saddened by the effects of Omnipotence, which made everyone see Boruto as a threat and want to kill him. She thought it was too cruel and wondered why Boruto couldn't catch a break. This deep sadness for Boruto led Sarada to awaken her Mangekyou Sharingan. This awakening was crucial because it convinced Sasuke of Sarada's belief in Boruto's innocence, prompting Sasuke to help Boruto. Sasuke understood the emotions needed to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. If Sarada was self-absorbed, she would not have empathized with Boruto or recognized the injustice he was facing. During and after the time skip, Sarada has openly fought to prove Boruto's innocence. This persistence made Shikamaru, before realizing Boruto was Naruto's son, believe Sarada might never advance beyond her level and reach the Hokage level because she was so focused on clearing Boruto's name. Sarada even wears clothing that indirectly reminds others of Boruto and her father. Before omnipotence altered everyone's memories and before the time skip, Sarada put herself in danger to protect Boruto from Kawaki, who was trying to kill him. She did this despite knowing she was far weaker than Kawaki. People often hide their true feelings of envy behind rational arguments or expressions of concern, while also making indirect criticisms of others. Sumire's behavior towards Sarada in the situation described is a clear example of this pattern. Sumire's comment that Boruto might have been hurt because Sarada and others were present could be seen as an indirect way of minimizing Sarada's role and contributions. People who feel jealous might express their criticism in a way that appears logical or selfless, but indirectly shifts blame or focus from themselves. By suggesting Boruto's injury was linked to Sarada's involvement, Sumire indirectly tries to present herself as someone who understands Boruto better or is less of a burden to him. This may reflect her own feelings of being not good enough compared to Sarada's strength and her visible closeness to Boruto. Envy is rarely admitted openly. It is usually hidden as reasoning. Sumire's argument that they should not chase after Boruto could be seen as an excuse for her unwillingness or inability to take more active steps to support Boruto, which Sarada has been doing. By presenting her position as logical and accusing Sarada of being inconsiderate, she hides her envy under the cover of concern for Boruto's independence. Looking at the bigger picture, Sarada has repeatedly risked her own safety and sacrificed personal relationships to stand by Boruto, disproving Sumire's claims of Sarada being self-centered. Sarada's genuine care and actions contrast sharply with Sumire's envious remarks, revealing Sumire's inner struggle. In conclusion, Sumire's comments suggest she's attempting to hide her envy and express passive aggression. Her statements appear to be based on logic and concern, but are underpinned by envy of Sarada's bond with Boruto.